In this video, we're going to talk about what a digital product is and why you need at least one, no matter what business you have, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what niche, no matter what you're doing, what you're selling, you should have at least one digital product, minimum. All right. I'm also going to talk about things that most people get wrong when it comes to digital products. So make sure you stick around to the end for that. All right. So if you don't know what a digital product is, it's very self-explanatory. It's in the name. It's a product that's digital. There is no physical version. Let me just start by saying this is not a scam. This is not, what was the shit that everybody was buying a couple years ago? The GIFs with the monkeys on the face, the racist shit. What? The monkey, the Bored Apes? The NFTs. This is not NFTs. This is not that, although those are digital products. This is not that. That is a subset of digital products. This is not what I'm talking about. That's not what this series is going to be about. But those are an example of digital products. The problem with those is that the value of those got extremely overinflated with the lack of intrinsic value that they had. There was no actual value behind just owning a picture. It's like there's no actual intrinsic value behind that. So the prices that people were paying for them were ridiculously high in comparison to the amount of value that they didn't have. What we're talking about is more so along the lines of the shift in media and the shift of how things are consumed when it comes to content, when it comes to social media, when it comes to your business, the apps you use. Like, things have shifted a lot when it comes to those. So there are a lot more, everything is moving more digital now because technology is getting better, technology is getting faster, it keeps evolving. So a lot more of our consumption in our lives are moving towards a digital space. So just for example, even kind of using the NFTs as an example, if you have kids, if you yourself play Roblox or you play any type of games, the stuff that you buy on there, like you can buy the skins for Fortnite, you can buy the houses, like those are all digital products. There's no physical media that comes with that. There's no physicality that comes with that. It's all a digital product. If you have a subscription, that's a digital product. If you are using any software, any apps, those are digital products. There's no physical means to it. It's all digital, right? So because our culture in the world is moving towards a much more digital space, the opportunity to make money with digital goods is here. This is the time to hop in and get to it, because we're not going further away from a digital world, we're going closer to a digital world. Our kids are going to know a lot more digital media than they will ever know physical media. There's no more CDs and no more, vinyls are still around, but they're becoming niche. Even books, like people still have books, but more and more people are consuming them digitally, are just deciding to consume audiobooks. So if that's where the world is headed, it would only make sense for you to have a product that is digital. And there's a lot of benefits that come with digital products. Before I keep going, if you don't know who I am, my name is Marvell. I am a funnel and content strategist. I've been using social media since MySpace to make money, whether that's with photography, graphic design, designing clothing, like designing merch for brands. I've been doing that since MySpace and Facebook days. And basically what this series is an open case study of me showing how to make six figures with digital products. The goal is to show you, just show you everything that kind of goes into it, everything that I'm doing, the product that I'm creating, how I'm putting it out, how I'm marketing it, everything that goes into it, so that you can see and apply it hopefully for yourself, for your own business, brand, whatever. So if that's something you're interested in, if you want to find out more about that, if you want to follow along with the series, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit the like button, wherever. I don't know where they be putting this shit on these things. So there's a lot of benefits that come with digital products, and that's why I feel that every business owner, every creator, every entrepreneur should have at least one digital product. The biggest reason is because there's no production limits to it. There's an unlimited amount of scalability when it comes to a digital product. That means you can create it one time. You only have to create it one time, and you can sell it over and over and over and over. If you're a photographer, you can't do photo shoots every single day, every hour of the day. You have to get rest, you have to do the editing, you have to do everything else that goes with that. If you do hair, you can only do so many hairs a day. If you do nails, if you sell jackets, if you sew, if you create custom jewelry, if you do anything physical, there's a limit that comes with it, whether that's due to time, whether that's due to production, whether that's due to money. There's a limit that comes with it. With a digital product, that limit is removed. If you make a book today, look at some of the books that were made years ago. The Bible has been selling since forever. If as a digital media, the Bible will continue to sell forever, and you only have to create it one time. That's one of the biggest benefits. Along with that, that allows you to create passive income. Now, I know that's something a lot of people are looking for, which, if we're being honest, passive income is a myth, because you still have to market it, you still have to promote it, you still have to make sure people are getting what they're asking for, they're seeing results, whatever. But it allows you to make money while you're asleep. It allows you to make money while not having to put in the same amount of effort you would if you were standing outside selling books or whatever service or product you provide. It's going to be a lot less effort than if you were doing that with a digital product. You set it up one time, boom, you sell it forever. That means you don't have to pay for inventory. You don't have to pay for shipping. You don't have to pay for production. Like, you get it built one time, it's good. This not only removes the physical limitations as far as like how many you can make or how many hours you have in a day, but it also removes the area that you can sell to. Now you can sell literally across the world to anyone who has access to the internet, which most of the world does. So you're not only able to sell a lot more of your product without having to pay more or work more hours, but you're also able to reach a lot more people, because most of the world has access to a phone or a laptop or some type of internet. There's other benefits like how easily you can customize it or how you can update things. If you get customer feedback or if something changes in the market or people are no longer interested in this topic, or if there's updates in the industry, you can just go in and update the product and then not only sell that new version, but email that updated version out to everybody who bought it and make sure that customer experience is still being upheld, right? And speaking of customer experience, the biggest selling point, especially in today's economy, is the fact that it's instant. We're in a very microwave economy, very much I want it now. You can see that everywhere with Amazon. You used to have to wait a minimum of a week to get your products from Amazon. Now they can get it to you in a couple hours. That is crazy. But that's also because people want that instant access. They want it right away when they pay for it. So when you have a digital product, somebody pays for it, they instantly get an email, they instantly get a download link, they instantly get access. So you're able to feed that instant gratification that a lot of people are looking for. Okay. So let's talk about 5 digital product ideas that will always sell online, no matter what niche, no matter what industry, no matter what your brand is. These 5 will always sell online. All right. Number 1, ebooks. Ebooks are going to continue to sell. People are not going to stop reading anytime soon. As long as there's information out there, as long as there's knowledge out there, people are going to continue to consume information. Therefore, they will continue to consume books. Ebooks are not going anywhere. And what you'll hear a lot of people say is like, oh, it's saturated. There's too many people selling ebooks. You'll hear some people say that. But in reality, those creators or entrepreneurs own limiting beliefs that are stopping them from putting out their own ebook or even attempting to sell an ebook because they feel like there's too much competition, which we'll talk about that later. That's one of the misconceptions that a lot of people fuck up on. But no matter what industry you're in, any industry can sell an ebook. The problem isn't that it's oversaturated. The problem is that there's a lack of creativity, a lack of ingenuity, and a lack of people with actual experience trying to sell the ebooks. Most people take information that they found from Google or ChatGPT and they throw that into a PDF and call it an ebook, which gives the industry a bad name. But there are a lot of reputable ebooks out there. I bought one on social media. I bought ones on how to leave your 9 to 5. I've bought ebooks and I've created and sold ebooks. Ebooks are going to continue to sell. You can do this with any niche and with any industry. The key is to understanding what your audience is dealing with and what they're looking to solve. A lot of times with ebooks, you're not going to find a lot of fantasy or like fiction books. You might find like comics that people are selling, which work well for that industry. As long as there's someone who's willing to consume your content or your media in any form, whether that's video, written, whatever, there's a chance that someone will buy your ebook. It's just about creating something of value, something that people are going to want to consume, whether they're going to want to read it and find out what's inside, whether that's a how-to guide, a collection of poems, a flip book, or a guidebook on how to set up your equipment, how to build and launch your own photography studio. There's an unlimited amount of ideas and things that you can create an ebook about. It's just about finding out what's working and what an audience is looking for. A great place to research this is Amazon. Look on Amazon and go look at the books that are selling. Go look at the book section and type in your niche, type in your industry, and see what books are selling. See which ones have the most reviews. And then go look at those reviews and see what people are saying about the books. Especially if you can look at the ebook version. If you can look at the Kindle version or whatever and you can see the reviews, go look at those and see what people are saying. See what they're saying about the content. See what they're saying about the value that was provided. If you've never bought an ebook, go buy some ebooks. Go look for people in your industry, in your niche, who might be selling ebooks. If you can't find anybody selling ebooks, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. We'll discuss that later. Do some research to see what books are popular in your niche or in your industry, and then figure out what kind of version you will want to create for yourself that your audience would enjoy. All right. Second digital product idea that will always sell online, no matter what: courses. I know another thing that's getting a bad rap because of the amount of people who have bought courses and haven't seen success. But that's a false equivalent, because a lot of times they either bought their first course and didn't put into play what they were told to do. They didn't do what they were told to do in the course, or they didn't make the money fast enough because they thought it would be overnight. When really, you learn just one section. Think about it like this. When you go to college, when you go to school, you don't just go and take one course. You don't just take one class. You take a number of classes and a number of courses across a broad range of topics that all encompass one bigger topic. So if you are studying business, you got to take a marketing class. You got to take an accounting class. I don't know all the classes because I dropped out. But you're going to have to take a lot more classes that help you build up the skills that you need to understand business, to understand health, to understand whatever it is you're studying. You need to take multiple courses, multiple classes for multiple years to learn that study. And even then, you can still take more. You can still go get your doctorates. You can go get masters. You can still take more. There's always more to learn. People take 1 or 2 courses and they don't get all the answers they need, and they assume that it's a scam, or they assume that this doesn't work. It's like, no, you just didn't have all the information you needed to make that course applicable. And that's one of the things I've learned in the past 5 years. I've spent close to $20,000 on courses and coaching programs. Is that you're not just going to get everything you need from one course. There's going to be multiple courses, and the skills and the information you learn in those different courses are going to compound upon each other. Eventually, you're going to get to that point where you get that course, you get that mentor, you get that program, and it's like, oh shit, everything just clicked. But if you only take one course, if you only work with one person, if you only do the bare minimum, you're always going to get the bare minimum. All right, remember that. So, ebooks, courses. Third digital product that will always sell: softwares and apps. Now, I know this might sound a little scary, especially if you're not the most tech savvy, but there are a lot of softwares and apps, what's called white label. Basically taking somebody else's software and putting your own branding on it and selling that to other people. One of the best examples of this is a software called Go High Level. That's the system and that's the program that I use to run my business, because it has 90 to 95% of everything that you need to run a business. It has your funnels, it has your websites, it has your calendar, it has automations, you can text, you can email, landing pages, forms. Like, it has everything that you need. You can put your products on there, you can sell your courses, you can do a community on there, you can do literally everything you need with Go High Level. There's other apps, there's other programs. You can hire a designer, you can hire a coder, someone to create an app or a software for you. You can create your own streaming service. I was just watching FD Signifier. He's a YouTuber who does video essays. I was watching his video on Kendrick and Drake's beef. I'm with the cultures feeling. I'm put a screenshot. But at the end of the video, it's like a 3-hour long video. End of the video, he used that to promote his streaming platform. He has his own streaming platform that he's created, and I guess with other YouTubers, they kind of use that to host their content. But whether it's an app or a software, people will always need programs, apps, things to keep them entertained, things to help them solve their problems. If you can create a software or an app, or if there's software or an app that allows you to white label it and market it as your own, those are very, very profitable, because it is, again, digital product. You don't have to create it, or you only have to set it up one time, then you can sell it forever. And with subscriptions and apps specifically, with those come subscription models, which is also part of the next one: membership sites. I know there's like pretty much any membership site is going to be subscription based. The great thing about subscription is that it allows you to create consistent, sustainable income, because if you get a good app or a software or a site that people want to subscribe to, like Netflix, Spotify, like those are all subscription-based membership sites. There's business owners who have their own subscription site, their own community, their own Discords, whatever it is, Discord, Patreon. Like, there's places where you can create your own community or host exclusive content that people can pay to get monthly access to. Even a newsletter. If you have a solid newsletter, people pay to subscribe to newsletters. Think of Wall Street Journal. That's just a newsletter that's digital now. So having a membership site, another good digital product that will always sell, as long as you are providing value or helping solve a problem. And then the fifth digital product idea that will always sell online, no matter what: templates, guides, resources. These can be in PDFs, these can be in Google Docs, these can be templates for landing pages, templates for emails, text. Like, I've seen a number of different templates that people sell. There's a number of different templates you can sell depending on your niche or your industry. But template, guides, resources, those will always sell. All right. The key is just figuring out what makes sense for your brand, what makes sense for your industry, and is it something that your audience can use? Is it something that they're going to want? Because if nobody wants it, then no matter how good it is, no matter what it is, if nobody wants it, it's not going to sell. And then next, let's talk about the things that people usually get wrong when it comes to their digital products, right? These are just some of the misconceptions of things I've heard when it comes to creators and entrepreneurs when the idea of digital products is brought up. Number one, I don't need a digital product. You're right. Technically, you don't need a digital product, but if you need income for your business, if you need money for your business, if the goal of your business or your brand is to bring in income, why would you not have a digital product is the question. You don't need anything. You don't need social media. You don't need content, but it helps. Why not have a digital product? Something that you create once, you set it up. You don't have to touch it anymore. You don't have to do anything to fulfill it, especially if you've built a business where you are the crux. So if you're the photographer, you're the baker, you're the person who does the hair, if your business is built around you, you're always going to be limited. So you want to make sure you find a way to make money when you aren't working, or else you just have another job that you can't quit. All right. So no, you don't need a digital product, but you should still have one. Next one I hear, digital products won't work for my brand, won't work for my business. That's cap. There's literally, anything you can think of. You say cats. There's an ebook about cats, whether it's about how to train them, how to raise them, how to breed them, like a foot book with cats, a cat calendar. Like there is cat ebooks out there. There's cat something out there. This can work in literally any and every industry. And if you think it can't, put it in the comments and I'm going to tell you exactly. I'll probably go find an example of one that's probably doing really fucking good too. The truth of this just comes down to having a limiting belief and not being willing to try or experiment with something. Because there is no industry, there is no brand, there is no business where this does not work. Literally. I'm telling you, put it in the comments. If you don't believe me, I'll let you know. Next thing people get wrong about digital products, and I hear this one a lot too, is nobody else is doing this in my niche. Okay, what does that have to do with you and you making money? We don't worry about what they are doing. Okay, I will say this. If nobody else is doing it in your niche, that either means nobody's figured out the right way to do it, or you just hit a gold mine. You just hit a jackpot. That means there's room for takeover. There's room for somebody to put it out. They're just waiting on it. The audience is just waiting on it. They just haven't realized it yet because nobody has done it. But more than likely, somebody has done it. More than likely, no matter what niche or industry you're in, somebody has done it. You just haven't found them yet, or you just haven't stumbled across them yet. Like I said, if you think it's not yours, you think it can't happen for yours, put it in the comments. I'll find it. I'll go find it. I'll find something. So the opposite of nobody is doing it in my niche is that everybody's already doing it in my niche. That's the other one. Too many people are doing it. Which, when it comes to this, usually when there's too many people doing it, the majority of them aren't good. Majority of them are bad, average at best. But the fact that there are a lot of people doing it means that there's money there. It means that there's a market there and people are spending money. People don't just keep creating ebooks if there aren't proof of concepts and proof of it working for other people. So the key with this is that you need to come up with a unique way to approach it, or something different that isn't being taught or isn't being talked about enough. Something that's going to set you apart from everybody else. So with that, you just need to do the research and see what other people are doing, what other people are talking about. Buy a couple of those books, see what kind of information they're giving out, and figure out how you can add more value than everybody else. And then you need to figure out how you can package it and market it better than everybody else, because that's the key too. Nobody's going to see the book if you don't have the content and the marketing to go with it. So you need to create something unique, something that's going to stand out from what everybody else is doing, and then also present it in a way that's going to stand out from what everybody else is doing, right? Remember that. Next thing that people get wrong about digital products is that they say it takes too much time or it takes too long to make, which potentially it could. I've been working on my digital product, the one I'm going to talk about in a little bit, a couple, like an episode or two. I think we're going to get there. It might be the next one. I don't remember. They say it takes too long to make. My product, my bundle that I created, it took me close to a year actualize. The information I've just been collecting and building up for like 4 or 5 years. But to actually distill it into a product that I wanted to put out, and I was like, oh, this is going to work, this is going to hit, because I had to make sure it stood out from what everybody else is doing, because I am in a saturated niche. But that just means I had to work harder and come up with some fire shit, right? But it took me about a year to make. And for everybody, you don't have time to wait, like that's too long, whatever. But again, this is something that you create one time. This is an investment into yourself and into your business. You create it one time, and it's going to make money for you forever. If you had to step back for a year to build a product that can make you $10, $20, $30, $100, $500,000 in its lifetime, but you had to wait a year to build it out and make sure it was solid and make sure it was good, is that not an investment you will make? Because if it's not, this ain't for you. You can just stop. You can just leave now. We ain't talking the same language, right? But if that makes sense to you, then there is no amount of time that would be too long. Now, you may not want to wait a year, in which case you can create an ebook. You can get that done in a day, in a weekend, easily. There's apps, like I mentioned. There's software. You can go sign up for High Level. I'll put a link in the description and start promoting their affiliate program, or get businesses signed up for the software, because once you sign up and see what it can do, you'll see how valuable it is. And a lot of people don't have that kind of infrastructure in their business. So there are ways to get it done fast. There are things that don't take a lot of time. Then there's also the option to outsource. If you go on Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, or Upwork.com, you can find somebody who can create a digital product, who can create an ebook. They can help you with a course. They can help you create an app, a software, whatever. There are options out there. You just have to be resourceful and go find them. Ask the questions. How do I create an app that helps dog walkers find the best parks? Your only limitation when it comes to digital products and products in general is your imagination. If you can think it, there's a way to get it done. You just got to figure it out. And then the last problem that I hear a lot of people dealing with, or I hear people saying this, it's very off, is that they won't make any money with a digital product. Which, if you have that attitude and you go into it like that, you probably won't. That's a losing mentality. That's a scarcity mindset. That's a quitter mentality, and quitters very rarely win. So if you go into it thinking this isn't going to work or this isn't going to make money, it probably won't, because you have to be able to market it. You have to be able to sell it. You have to be able to promote it. And if you don't believe in it, why would anybody else? I don't know. The only reason you would think it won't make money is because you don't believe the value in it, or you don't believe there's enough value in it. Which, if that's the case, add more value. Figure out a way to sell it different. There's option. You just haven't figured out how to make it. I've seen some of the ebooks out here. I've seen some of the stuff that people are selling out here. There is no, it won't make money. It's just about figuring out how to make it make money. All right. So that's all I got for y'all in this one. So we went through why you need to have a digital product. Next, we're going to talk about figuring out what product to sell. And I'm going to tell y'all about the bundle I created. So again, if you want to follow along, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the follow button. If you have any questions, anything you're struggling with, let me know in the comments. I'll make a response, post it either here or on TikTok or Instagram, and I'll let you know. But yeah, that's all. I'll see y'all in the next one. Love you. Subscribe. All right. Be.